Welcome back to my video blog channel, Wanderlust. Wanderlust, the search for Forrest Fenn Gold. Turn this down. I like the sound of the birds on this video. It's a cool background noise sound. So sometimes I fight the controls on this computer trying to cut these videos. Sometimes I do like 5 or 6 cuts and I end up talking and the audio is muted or making weird mistakes. So the weather, I guess that's my topic here, sort of. I want to talk about the weather. Yeah, we're here. I'm here in the Pacific Northwest. I'm in Washington State, and we're really close to Vancouver, British Columbia. You pull out your map, you can see where that is. And we're real close to the Canadian border, and we get sometimes we get like coastal dribble, and Seattle is like really well known. Let's turn the sound down here. We're really well known for Seattle gets the bad rap. So does Portland and Vancouver. We get a lot of coastal. I call it coastal dribble, but we have this Cascade Mountains to the east of us, anywhere 20, 40 miles to the east of us, and they rise up pretty high. I think the elevation. I forgot what the elevations are up there, but and there's still snow up there. I mean, I could go right now. It's probably only about a 45-minute drive up, and there's a ski. We can go skiing right now if we left. We could be there in the parking lot in 45 minutes, and we could go skiing. So there's skiing till 4th of July up there in the Cascades, and we get a really bad rap about the rain because what it is we get like this coastal. I don't want to call it coastal rain because of the Pacific Ocean that comes in and it kind of piles up against the Cascades, and we just get kind of overcast, dribbly, foggy weather, even in the middle of summer. And the thing is, again, during the summer, if you head over the mountain, over the Cascades into central Washington State, it'll be in the 80s. Sun's out, absolutely beautiful. Come back over here, it'll be raining out or drizzling. So back to the weather, more weather. And it's definitely end of April. It's going to be the first week in May. Spring has sprung. We got the trees grown, lots of greenery, kind of like I see in my picture here. We have a lot of songbirds starting to come out in my backyard, and time for a sip of coffee here. So yeah, the weather. I mean, I have literally been sitting on the button of making reservations since January. Actually, since almost Christmas, I've repeatedly sat down and said, "All right, I'm going to make these reservations for campsites and things to do to go put boots on the ground and take a vacation." And I just keep not doing it because I'm so kind of the weather this year has been pretty advanced. And here's an example. Let's see if I can rack this up. So this is from the Weather Channel. So I think it was I grabbed this from somewhere else. Let's listen in on this. Excuse me.
Is back, and that's Montana's snow happening just yesterday. More snow's in the forecast, I know. Here we are getting ready to go into May, and we are still talking about snow streaking across the country. So here's a look at the latest system, and this low, well, it's going to drag off to the east as we go through the middle of the week. So this is the cold air that we're seeing basically move through the Rockies, the northern part of the plains. So quite a few people are going to get hit with some snow. Now, this isn't a major snowfall, but it is punishing considering this is the end of April and, well, nobody wants to see this. So Boulder, 3 to 5 inches could be coming your way all the way up through Billings and even off into parts of the UP of Michigan. You could see a little bit of snow.
So yeah, lots of snow. I saw that there was a clip that it was actually somebody posted on Reddit, and I thought it was fun to throw in there because it fits in my discussion about snow and boots on the ground and travel. Another thing that I wanted to share was that I had cut a video. I think it was March 10th, And that's a good 7 or 8 weeks. Let me pull that up. Let's pull this up, take a look. So here's just a stop video of my own video blog from about 8 weeks ago. This is Flash Flathead. This is Glacier National Park, and again, one of the reasons why I like going up there. I like camping. I like the area up there and hiking. I've had a good time up there. I'm not saying that Forrest Fenn's treasures up there. I have a weird feeling that it's not, but I also it's very close to the Canadian border, and it's a good barometer, I think, of what the weather in the Rockies looks like. I'm not saying that the entire Rockies is going to look like this, but I think it's a good feel. So, anyways, this is what it looked like about 8 weeks ago on the Middle Fork River, and here is what it looks like today, 11:23 a.m. Its elevation is 3194 feet. No snow, bare, pretty clear. River's running clean. So yeah, there's what it was. That's what it is now. Let's do the next one. I have to pause these things to rack them up because it's too many buttons to push. Let me try again. So here's what Apgar Mountain looked like. Again, this is Glacier National Park. This is looking up. This is elevation. This is 5,236 feet. This was 8 weeks ago, and this is today. And so there's no snow down here anymore. It's nice and green. The lake is nice and placid and clean. I don't see any ice in the. Looks like we have the snow line is definitely retreated. And if you look in this picture, you can see this little pine tree here and this tree here and all these little branches and trees. If you look in this other picture, I'm trying to put them side by side. It won't allow me to do it. Pause. All right, there. So yeah, you can kind of see, even though one's big and one's small. Um, like I said, in this you can't even see this little baby pine tree is completely covered, and this tree, anyways, it definitely looks like all this stuff was covered, even though the angle may have changed. You can see all the snow down below here, and the snow's gone. The lake is frozen here. The lake's not frozen here. So this is a good sign. Now, the interesting thing was I cut a video, I think it was like Saturday, like 2 days ago, and I was looking at these cameras, and it had just freshly snowed out. But I think that was part of this system that's rolling through down in like the video I just showed you. I think that was part of that system that just kind of came through and brushed the snow through, and 48 hours later, it's all melted and gone. This time of year with the spring temperatures and the day being longer. Let's try a couple more. So here's another one. This is about March 10th, and it's just snow everywhere. And then here you see today, April 29th, 11:25 a.m., and no snow. I think there's just a little bit of snow over here built up hanging out, but I mean the difference is pretty stark. I mean, this electrical box was almost completely covered, and now it's not. Same with the bridge, same with the building. Let's pop a couple more. Do a couple more. So this is moving up in elevation. This is at Logan Pass, where we're at 6,646 feet elevation, and still a fair amount of snow. But I mean, back in May, the drifts at the National Forest headquarters, whatever you want to call it, forest station. You can see the chimney and part of the roof, and the drift was covering most of the building. Same with this piece of roof line you see here is the bathrooms. And much to my dismay, well, you can see more of the eave and more of the roof is exposed, and the drift is not as high. Where's the bathroom? I can't even see. The bathroom roof is. Where is the bathroom? Oh well, it's not in this picture. It's not showing. Either it's hidden underneath the drift. It's possible, huh? But not as melted as I thought it would be. Still a lot of snow up there. Just a lot of snow. Still got a ways to go to melt. That this building is still covered like that, and that's at 6,600 feet. I've gone down this rabbit hole, so might as well just stay on the topic. So, yeah, here's the today, and here's where it was about 8 or 9 weeks ago. So the trees, these are the same trees. Yeah, it's definitely come down. It's starting to melt. Sun's out. I think this thing had the temperature. No, it didn't have the temperature, just the time. And let's go down the hill to, if I can find it here, my own video. There it is. Hold on. Let's see if we can find this fast. Fast. So yeah, here's St. Mary's. Again, snow melt, 8 weeks. Definitely can see the road. Starting to see the grass grow a little bit. See the hill here coming through. So yeah, that's looking pretty good. Yeah, I like it. So yeah, here's many glaciers. Actually, this is where I'm. One of the places I'm thinking about visiting. I have never been to this part of the park, and I was thinking about going there at least for a couple of days and go try and do some day hikes around, just because it's just so lovely. Looks like a little bit of ice still on the lake. Somebody's out there in their van, and just because I think it's a good kind of in between place to grab a temperature from. Um, look at the change. I mean, this is their 10-day forecast, and it currently it's like 37 degrees outside, and it's only like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But by a week later, not even a week later, by this weekend, they'll already be in the 70s, or they're going to have a nice little warm spell here and then drop back into the 60s again. But let me see if I can look at Santa Fe. So yeah, if I go down the corridor down into Santa Fe, at least today we're hitting like 60s, maybe 70s. Let's just try this weather station right here. And so yeah, the this Telecast Wonderground website used to still provides fantastic information. It's just really slow to load, and it crashes sometimes. And at least on my computer it does. So yeah, it looks like it's in the 60s in the Santa Fe area, which is would be very nice if the sun is out. And I like this thing. Let's see if I can let it to load without the thing crashing. Come on, internet connection. So wow, that's really lovely. Santa Fe temps are just really starting to push the 70s and high 60s. So yeah, and that was my same point that I made before. And I think I've got to make a decision here on booking sites and to make my trip. I have a period of time. I have a schedule of time I can go, and at some point you have to commit. You just got to say, I'm going to go on this date. I'm going to go to these places. But based on how variable the weather has been throughout the Rockies, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, across the greater Midwest, I mean, it's just been a rough winter. And so I think I'm going to hedge my bets and head south. And I've never done any boots on the ground in Santa Fe, in the New Mexico area. So I'm gonna kind of hedge my bets that it's gonna be nice and warm, which I'm looking for, so I can enjoy the warm weather and sit in the sun a little bit, have that experience. And who wants to camp in the rain and the cold? It's just miserable. And then it'll be fun. I've never been to that area. I like to see Santa Fe and trip around that area, so that's where I'm headed. Um, Anyways, like my videos, I'll probably post another one about some more topics today, I hope. Thanks for watching.